Hello, everyone. This is another episode of Natural as Health. I'm your health coach, Dr. Ferrante Frazier. Thank you for tuning in to this episode of, hey, let's not wait till the last minute to get ourselves healthy. And when is the best time to start? A lot of us trying to figure out when should we start this health journey and getting ourselves healthy. Should we, a lot of us wait till the new year. We say, well, when the new year comes, I'm going to start good and fresh, and I'm going to work out all year long. And that usually lasts for the first week, even if we even start. We even have it where we say, well, when Monday come, I'm doing right. Now I'm gonna turn up this weekend. But when Monday come, I'm going to follow it. And it usually happen Monday and Tuesday, and we be off the bandwagon by Wednesday. So we're going to teach you how to really, and try to talk to you, get out of the stages of denial, the perils of procrastination, and really going through this thing. Even if you have to change your environment for success, why destroy your life to gain the world? Even if your job won't allow you, like I had clients who would take off 30 days from their job and go lay in the bed and rest and fast until they got over the addictions and the different things that was causing them their suffering and their diseases. Now, some people will say, "Oh, I can't do that," but then I've had people who say that and they're no longer here, but their job is still going. The bills are still getting paid by somebody else now. The car is being driven by somebody else. You know, so what? How can you have all this stuff and your life is required in a couple of days after you done acquire all this stuff? What was the purpose of running hard getting this stuff if you're not going to be here to live and enjoy it? So the day is today that you should start taking the steps towards a longevity of life, freedom from addictions and freedom from suffering. Like I said, I am not a medical doctor. I've told you that so many times in our teachings here and on the show. I'm not a medical doctor. So you're not going to hear anything about medicine. I don't talk about medicine, don't teach medicine, don't prescribe medicines or any of that type stuff. I teach you a lifestyle, one that is conducive or favorable towards you being healthy. You know, there's no way that your body should be acting erratically when you're giving it the right stuff, right air, right food, right drink. You're getting plenty of sleep, adequate sunlight, staying away from toxic people, keeping the will to live, maintaining normal temperatures, regular exercise, natural things, getting fresh air, being clean, washed, and, So those are conditions that will automatically have you feeling rejuvenated, refreshed, and seeing your body heal. Those are natural conditions. You can't sell that to nobody. Health is something that is free. It just requires you to discipline yourself to do it. Now, emotional balance is pretty much what we were finishing off from last month, where we were talking about freedom from addictions and different things like that. We taught you in the last show how to follow some antidotes. If you just coming in for the first time and you might want to go back and look at some of our other shows and finish it off with this one. But stay with us today, though, because we got some good stuff for you. Like I say, I'm Dr. Ferrante Frazier, and I'm a holistic doctor teaching sound ways and teachings of natural hygiene and holistic health and healing. Now, I don't even deal with the remedies, the treatments, or anything like that. I just believe that your disease is your cure. That what you're suffering is curing you of your one disease, which is poison. You done ingested some poison, or your body is so low in energy, it's not getting rid of the poison that it makes itself. Now that poison stays in the body and start irritating cells and tissues. It's like the cells are bathing in their own waste. that waste is irritating to them. It threatens to kill them. It causes inflammation. The body tries to ulcerate this stuff out. That ulceration causes damage as well, and the cells harden from the constant irritation. That hardening now causes low functioning, causes damage, causes the organ not to function properly, which causes you other areas in your body not to function properly. Imagine if your kidneys fail on you and it's not getting rid of a lot of the uric crystals, salts, sugars, and other crystals that get caught up in the body, not getting rid of nitrogens and nitrogen and all type of other so-called substances that are waste products. If it's not getting rid of it, then that stuff is building up in the body. We see people who go to dialysis. If they don't go get their dialysis treatment, oh man, they start getting loopy, out of their mind, because those waste materials are circulating through their blood, going to their brain, causing damage. They come up off that machine, totally different person. The kidneys does that naturally. But when it's no longer able to do so because it's done been used so much getting rid of alcohol, beer, and all type of other substances, like, a bunch of foolishness that we eat and processed food, oils and stuff like that, well, then that waste got to stay in your body. So that is going to damage other areas, because you got to think about it. If the stomach is producing a lot of waste and the kidneys can't get rid of its waste, then the stomach got to sit there and live in its own filth. If the brain is not able to get rid of the waste that it produced and send it to the kidneys, and the kidneys get rid of it, then, well, the kidneys got to bathe in its own waste. I mean, the brain has to bathe in its own waste, excuse me. Every organ and tissue, the kidneys free the blood of waste for the whole entire body. Every inch of the body throws its waste in the blood, and the blood circulates it to the kidneys, and the kidneys filter it out, and you void it out. All right? Via the bladder. All right. Now, if the kidneys fail in doing its job, now, it's not like it's going to decide, well, I'm only going to get rid of the stuff for the brain. I'm not getting rid of no waste for the heart. I'm not getting rid of no waste for the lung. I'm not getting rid of no waste for the colon. I'm not getting rid of no waste for the liver. I'm not getting rid of no waste for the pancreas. Well, it doesn't do that. Whenever waste is accumulating in the blood, the kidneys is at all times filtering out that waste. So the blood is running through the kidneys, and if there's any waste in there, it's trapped in the kidneys. And when the kidneys toxins get high enough, it signals the kidneys to now send it to the bladder, and the bladder excretes it out. That's just how it does. If there's no, if your blood is clean and it's going to the kidneys, there's nothing to filter out of the blood. The kidneys really never have to act. But if it's constantly getting a trash pile up of waste because your blood is so toxic, then it's constantly getting rid of waste. So you urinating like crazy. We see that with diabetics. We see that with alcoholics. You go to any bar on Friday night, you'll see exactly what I'm talking about right now. Before they go in there, they may have not urinated in 3 to 4 hours. Soon as they go in there and start drinking that poison, then what? The kidneys got to filter out that poison, because if that poison remain in your body, it's doing damage. You see a little bit of the damage it's doing is causing you to slur in speech. That got to be something damaging the brain. The brain, it helps you with speech, cognitive recognition, all the areas of the brain that helps you with hearing, seeing, all kind of stuff, all your senses, is diminished. So that's meaning that those toxins of that alcohol is actually reaching the brain, doing damage, but the kidneys is trying to keep up with the work to try to get it out before it actually go there and destroy your brain and kill you. That's a powerful kidney doing all that good work for you, right? But after doing that for so long of a time, it tends to fail. It gets tired, just like you get tired. You don't want to work nonstop. And some of us work our kidneys nonstop. We work the stomach, the colon nonstop. We work our heart nonstop. We work our brain nonstop. We work the liver nonstop, all with our lifestyle habits. No, some of us just don't know. That's just how we was brought up. We were raised to do so. And we're programmed to do so. So when somebody come and tell you, hey man, this was causing your suffering, man, my grandmama did it all her life. Okay. My granddaddy did it all his life. Okay. You're going to do it all your life too. Even if that life is a real short one. All right. Now, like I said, we don't teach anything about medicines, remedies, or anything like that. We just believe that if you remove that cause, if we are to stop urinating excessively and get rid of all those other symptoms of poisoning, the slurring at the mouth, the can't walk straight, can't see, blurred vision, all these symptoms of sickness that he's suffering from his intake of poison. That's why we say poison is the only cause of disease. Those same symptoms we see in alcoholics, we see in sick people. But they don't realize that they've been poisoned with something. They didn't realize Nabisco poisoned them. They don't realize that Frito-Lay has poisoned them, that Little Debbie poisoned them, that Kellogg's and General Mills has poisoned them, and all these other big manufacturing plants that distribute all our processed foods and stuff, Procter & Gamble and all these other so-called people. They're constantly ingesting poisons from these people. And they don't realize that because we're being told that's food. So long as we believe and we're raised up on this stuff, then we think that, this is food and we're eating it. And we don't realize that's what's causing our suffering. So we go on and continuously do it. And when we feel bad and sick, what we do, we go to the doctor. And the doctor conveniently give us something to stop that sickness, that symptom. Now imagine when you go to the bar and you start drinking and you start excessively urinating. And the bartender, you tell the bartender, man, I'm urinating like crazy. He said, well, take this pill and you'll stop urinating. And then you sit back down and start drinking some more. And you're not urinating no more. But boy, you done got dizzy as I don't know what. You done got real dizzy. And you got it now coming out through. You start sweating profusely. But you're not urinating. So now you look at the bartender and say, hey, bartender, man, well, you helped me with the urination. And can you help me with this profuse sweating that I'm doing? And he goes on and, hey, I got a pill for that. And you take that and sure enough, your body stop sweating. All right. But now you can't see anything. Your eyes is blurry. You hear ringing going on in your ears and all type of stuff. And then you say, hey, man, my ears are ringing. I can't see. And he said, well, I got something for that. We might need to come back in the back room, and I got a technique that I can do on you that'll help with your hearing. I gotta crack your neck to the side and press on your back, or I might have to inject some type of stuff in the back of your medulla in your brain, some injection, and you'll be okay. And sure enough, you come out being able to hear and see, But then you walk out and fall dead. Because you still drinking. But every attempt, your body was telling you to stop drinking, because when you were urinating excessively, when your head started hurting, when you started slurring out the mouth, when you couldn't see, getting sleepy, about to go into a coma, your body is trying to save you. It's trying to give you every warning to stop the ingestion of the poison. Same thing when we're out here eating these other foods. Our stomach hurt, our head hurt, we sour belch, we pass gas, we have all these other symptoms and stuff, but we keep on eating the very things that's producing our sickness. And when we start having signs and symptoms of sickness, of poisoning from our lifestyle habits, we conveniently go to the doctor, just like we went to the bartender and asked for this and that, and he gave it to us. And he didn't tell us to stop drinking. He made money off that. The doctor ain't going to really tell you to change your lifestyle. Then he won't need you no more. If you think that those folks really want you healed, that's just like the sheriff really want crime gone. And the police officers really want crime gone. Well, how is they going to keep that complex they got, filled with people with beds where they can keep some money and grants coming in? They're not going to let that happen. They'll come up with another way for us to go to jail. But that's not my subject. I'm just getting you to see here. If there's interest, if there's interest in sickness, well, there's not going to be any true cures. They're going to be on the break, always on the break. Remember, cancer, there's no cure for cancer in the medical realm. Now, I ain't say that's not true in our realm. We've seen people cure themselves of cancer without any type of medicine, treatments, or remedy. But in the medical field, we see there is no cures. There is no cures for no disease. There's only suppression and palliation. They don't admit to cure nothing, but they can suppress your symptom and they can palliate your symptom. All right? But there's no cure. They're always saying that this can stop the symptoms that go along with this disease, and it will recur, or something worse might even come with their suppression and palliation. So it's just like you're going from just the excessive urinating. I would rather excessively urinate than go blind and can't hear. I would rather be a little blind and can't hear than to fall out dead. So every time you suppress and palliate your symptoms of detoxification, or your symptoms, your warning signs to stop ingesting the poison and to let that poison come out, and you keep suppressing it, you're setting yourself up for a worse situation down the road. It may not show up right now because you got a little relief, right? You got relief from that symptom. You got relief from that cough. You got relief from that excessive urination. Then progressively you can't see. Now you have to go to an eye doctor, and he tell you it's nothing related to the very thing, the excessive urinating. He has nothing to tell you that. All right, so when we come back, we're going to take a little quick break. I go to rambling here, but we're going to take a quick break. And when we come back, we're going to start talking about the 7 stages of denial and choices open to the addict. So we'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Katie Brewington, and I'm running for Magistrate Court Judge. Magistrate Court is often called the People's Court because people represent themselves or are pro se litigants. Magistrate Court handles civil claims up to $15,000, dispossessory proceedings, pre-warrant applications, and good behavior bonds. I'm a great candidate for judge because I have the experience, compassion, and drive to get the job done. I have been a probation officer, a criminal defense attorney, a solicitor, and a municipal court judge, and I will take all of that experience to get the job done. So remember, vote Katie Brewington, May 21st.
Transformative. That's what Sonia Jackson is. Creative. That's what Sonia Jackson is. Compassionate. That's what Sonia Jackson is. Leadership. That's what Sonia Jackson demonstrates. Dedicated. That's what Sonia Jackson is. Chatham County, there's never been a tax commissioner like Sonia Jackson. She has made the office more accessible, more consistent, more convenient, and more service-friendly. Let's keep Sonia Jackson while she takes the tax commissioner's office to new heights. On May 21st, cast your vote for a great public servant. Vote Sonia Jackson for tax commissioner.
If you don't give up your addictive lifestyles and your habits, and you continue the addictive lifestyle and the addictions that you have, if that's smoking, drinking, excessively eating wrong, stimulating food, whatever your addiction is that's draining your body of vital energy, well, your body is going to become weaker and weaker every time you use that stimulant, even if it's the drugs of the medicine man, herbs from the remedy man, therapeutic treatments from these so-called natural healers. Every time you go in there and take these so-called, natural cures and stuff, your body, you're fighting your body healing itself. If your body is sneezing, let it sneeze. If it's coughing, let it cough. If it's diarrhea, let it run its course. If you're vomiting, let it come out. That poison is trying to escape your body. And if you go to any so-called healer of the arts, or these so-called doctors or whatever they are, and you allow them to use their modality on you to stop and suppress what you're crying about. I don't want to cough no more. I want this sneeze to go away. I need this rash to stop. Well, take this, take that, rub this there, rub this there, do this. Let us cut here, let us cut there. As long as you continuously let them practice on you, you're going to go down a long, rocky road of suffering and degeneration to your body, cutting your life in short. Because they are interfering with the work of the body. That cough is your cure. That sneeze is your cure. That vomit is your cure. That diarrhea is your cure. That rash is something being thrown out the window. They would say back in the days, people used to just throw stuff straight out the window. I don't know if you ever saw Coming to America, and when he was coming from his home, and the man threw something right out the window onto the street. He said, even in America, one can throw trash right onto the street. Well, that's what the body is, just throwing it out any area it can. It can't seem to get it out through the kidneys. It can't seem to get it out through the colon. It can't even seem to get it out through the mouth and vomiting. It don't have none of those organs have energy enough to do the work. So we had to find an alternative route. If one organ or tissue in the body is not capable of preserving the body and defending the body, then another organ must step up and do the job. That's just how the body works. It's a self-conducting unit, the self-preserving unit. Every cell in the body is endowed with instinct of self-preservation. And together, when they came together as an organism, a community of cells that work in communion with each other, one of them is doing work to protect the other, and while the other one is feeding the other one, while the other one is moving the other one, they all are differentiated in doing work for the whole. The feet do the job of the feet, the head do the job of the head, the hands do the job of the hands, the kidney do the work of the kidney. No other organ in the body have to do the work of the kidneys unless the kidneys fail to do its job. Then the lungs might have to get rid of some of that urine and stuff like that, and you end up with pneumonia or some other so-called sickness. So this is just how the body works. It's a melodrama, Dr. Shelton called it. It's in unicism. It's a whole. This thing work together. To bring you the best life possible, to preserve it as long as it can. But you can help this. You can make this a long, drawn out play, or you can cut it short, depending on how you behave. So if you continue, you become weaker and weaker, and now your addictions and your habits. Notice how the first time you taste salt, it's stuff too salty. But if you continuously eat it, then you need to add more salt to it. Something that's already salty. just like the tea. You know, to somebody, the tea tastes really sweet. To another person, ain't enough sugar in the tea. You know, so how can you let somebody taste food that, you know, everybody got a different palate? That's why people say, hey, the food nasty, and somebody else, oh, that's some good food. It's the palate's different. It ain't the food, it's the palate. Same thing with the drugs. When you're able, or any addiction, when you start to be able to palate something, then you need more of the poison to get a movement. You need more salt, you need more sugar, you need more crack, you need more heroin, you need more marijuana, you need more alcohol, you need more sex, you need, you know, just keep going. There's no limit. You gotta shop more. You gotta, you know, get bigger stuff. You know, you're not satisfied because it's an addiction. And the more you do it, the weaker your energy become, the more you're gonna need more of the addiction. Eventually, it gets you to a point where you're depleted in your energy, and now you start suffering with symptoms in your body. Or even it can lead straight on to death. You know, and using willpower, it says research shows that the willpower approach is successfully only as long as the supply of willpower is there. You know, according to Dr. Bidwell, Victoria Bidwell, she says that ideally take a complete fast. The Bible even talks about fasting. Says that fasting is the best way to break yourself from any chain. Now listen to that. Fasting is the sure way and the best way to break yourself from any chain. Now that's fasting. Because fasting is abstinence from a thing. When you abstain from a thing for so long, it loses power over you. Just if you stay with a thing so long, you need more of it to still get movement. But when you stopped drinking the sweet tea for a long time and you go back to taste it, you'll say, ooh, that tea is too sweet for me. If you stop with all the salt on your food and you go back and try to eat salty food, you'll say, oh, that's too much salt. You don't have the palate for it anymore. You can't tolerate that much no more. But right now you got a toleration. Who is that? Disappeared. How
Hey,
you
Doc.
doing today, man?
I had to get in here because I heard you talking about fasting being the sure way to break them habits.
Oh, that's definitely true. Well, that's like I said, that's what the Bible says. You know what I'm saying? Just like with drinking. You know, the first time you drink, you can't drink a whole fifth of gin or liquor. Some people may try and kill their darn self. But you might drink a little bit and you be right here stupefied. But if you continuously do it every day, you're going to need more and more until the next thing you know, you're drinking a whole pint, a liter or something. I don't know if anybody drank that much though, but you done drunk a whole liter before, and it don't do nothing to you. You still walking straight. Like, what in the? You mean I can tolerate that much poison when my body used to not tolerate nothing? You know, so some people have to dilute their liquor at the beginning, but after a while, I want it straight. I'm drinking it straight out the bottle now. You know what I mean? So, but if you stop and go through rehab for, let's say, 2 to 3 months, and you come back out there, you'll kill yourself. That's how a lot of people do. They get off of poison and go back and think they can take the same much that they left off taking, and they kill their darn self. They OD.
Mm-hmm. OD. Yep.
Because their body can't tolerate that. But you said, well, why I can't tolerate it now when it was tolerating it before I started? Because your body didn't have energy to react to it. And your body doesn't learn how to adapt to this toxic habit that you keep bringing forth to it. That's why some people say, well, I eat meat and I put salt and I put sugar. It don't do anything to me. But that's letting you know your body is tolerating that poison. That's not a good thing. You know? And that's not, that's not ideal to be going around here saying that, Mo. I can drink strychnine. I can do it. It ain't do nothing to me.
Not strychnine. Not strychnine.
You know what? That's pretty much what the folks feeding us, and that's pretty much what Kellogg's and his homeboy General Mills was giving us. So tell me what made when I started talking about fasting is breaking every chain. I know you got something to put with that.
Well, nothing. I just wanted to get in on the conversation because fasting just clears everything out. It clears everything up. It gives you rest. It gives you the ultimate in waking rest. I mean, you couldn't do no better than to go to sleep. It would be really good if what we could do, Doc, is put people to sleep.
Hey, I say that's kind of how the medical doctors do. When people are suffering with really bad pain and stuff, they put them in a coma, a medical induced coma. But that's not ideal though. But still though, it kind of helps them out. You know what I'm saying?
It does help them out.
In the coma.
Exactly. It does help them out. They can't do anything except sleep. And what does that do? It recharges the battery. Of course, I don't know all the drugs that it requires to keep somebody in a coma. Like, are you getting a steady drip of some drug or something like that? Because then that's not necessarily good. But if we could figure out a way just to get people to sleep for about 3 days. Just 3 days at a time.
3 days.
Yeah, 3 days at a time.
We can get them to hibernate for a whole winter though, like the bear. Oh man, I can go hibernate like the bear.
I would if I could, but I don't think that. Of course it's not ideal, but I don't want to be a naysayer. Maybe somebody can do it. Maybe people will do that. I don't want to say people won't do it or can't do it.
Well, check this out, Michaela. There's a psychologist at the National Institute of Mental Health named Dr. Shlomo Brisnitz.
Okay.
All right. Well, she has identified 7 levels of denial that people go through, these stages of denial. And this is the 7 stages of denial that I wanted to share with the listeners today, right?
Okay.
Denial of personal relevance. All right, that's stage 1. That's the first stage of denial. And you remember when we were younger, we used to always say denial was don't even know that I am lying. You ever
denial was don't even know what?
Don't even know I am lying.
No, I don't know that. No.
Denial. If you break each word down,
don't even each letter, know I am lying. Wow, no, I never heard that. No.
Yeah. Well,
that's I like that though, but I ain't lying. I ain't gonna never be lying.
They go to denial.
Okay. I'm gonna do my best to never be lying.
Well, I'm gonna try not to lie.
Yeah.
All right. So stage 1, denial of personal relevance. Like, sure, I'm overweight, but I'm really healthy otherwise. Yeah, I hear people say that all the time. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm big bone, but I ain't got no sugar. I ain't got no blood pressure problems or anything like that. But yeah,
I ain't fat, I'm thick.
80 pounds. Huh?
I ain't fat, I'm thick. I ain't fat, I'm thick. I still look good in my clothes. These 250 pounds is everything.
Dudes still be whistling at me.
When you 5'3". You 5'3". That's not funny. That's not nice. We shouldn't be talking about people, Dr. Frazier.
Yeah, stop talking about
people.
Stage 2.
It is the truth.
Stage 2. Denial of urgency. Okay, so I need to lose a few pounds. So what? There's plenty of time to go on a diet. I can wait till the beginning of the new year. Our favorite, I was telling them my favorite thing is say, well, Monday, Monday, I'm only drinking juice for the whole week, 7 days.
Starting Monday.
Starting Monday. Or when we say that tomorrow I'm gonna do right.
Right.
Tomorrow.
Right.
And then when tomorrow comes, it's actually today, and then there's still tomorrow, the next day.
So it's always tomorrow, right?
It's always a day away.
So nobody lied.
Yeah, I'm starting tomorrow. When it comes, I thought you were starting. You said yesterday you were starting tomorrow. Well, yeah, I am starting tomorrow. Tomorrow ain't till tomorrow. Yeah,
right.
It's always going to be like that. Stage 3.
Number 3.
Denial of vulnerability. I'll be okay no matter what weight I am. I have good genes. The diseases that come with obesity could never happen to me. But high blood pressure, diabetes, that don't run in my family. That ain't gonna happen to me. Look at me. I was always big like this.
I was big when I was little.
I know how I can work while I'm smoking. While I'm smoking my crack. Huh? I go to work every day. I might smoke crack, 100 pack, 200 pack, 300 pack, an ounce, a brick of cocaine or whatever. But that's okay. No. I go to work the next day.
Oh my.
I go to work the next day.
Okay.
And I got a big house. I'm wealthy and all this type of stuff. So, I could never be in a crack house or anything like that. That's denial, right? I should have used something else. I should have used that.
That's okay. Denial is denial.
Okay. Number 4, stage 4. Denial of feelings. I know I have to go on a diet sooner or later, but I'm not the least bit worried. Like, it really don't matter to me. Denial of feelings. Yeah, I know I'm going to have to stop smoking crack one day. I'm not worried about it right now, though. Huh?
And that's denial of feeling. So,
but we can even.
So I don't feel bad about this thing that I'm doing. I'm aware, and I'm not. I feel all right. I feel confident about it.
Right. Even with food.
Okay.
I know I can't keep eating the way I eat 10 hamburgers at one time. Sitting here eating all this toxic food and stuff like that. I know I need to stop. But I ain't worried about it right now. When that time comes, I'll address it. When the doctor say, hey, your disease is incurable. Now I want to do something. I want to go to church and pray and ask, oh, God, please forgive me. And go and start looking for herbal remedies, going to try to look out holistic doctors and all type of other stuff. Because now the medical man said there's nothing we can do for you.
Right. You gave up.
Then I'll start worrying about it. Huh?
Okay.
Number 5, denial of source of feelings. I've been a little concerned lately about this overweight, but not because of my physical symptoms. You heard that? It's like, I don't know if you got froze there. Look like you froze on me. Well, anyhow, I've been a little concerned lately about this overweight, but not because of any physical symptoms. So they're saying that it's, their denial of their source of feelings, where it's coming from. It's really coming from how you feeling and how you're aching and stuff like that. So denial of threatening information. A new study about the evils of obesity. Listen, I'd rather not hear it. They don't want to hear about no information. Denial of all information. It's all a pack of lies. They don't know anything about my particular situation. I'm perfectly healthy. I just weigh too much. Now we're going to take another break, and I'm coming back to hit back at stage 6 and 7. All right, be right back.
Hello, I'm Richard Coleman, and I'm running for the office of Sheriff of Chatham County. And when I'm elected, I promise to inspect what I expect. Chatham County, it's time for a change, and that change is me, Richard Cole.
So we're in stages of denial, the 7 stages of denial. We done went through 1 through 7, but I ran through 6 and 7. And I want to just double back the 6 and 7. Denial of threatening information. Most people, when you want to present them with information about why they're suffering, why they're hurting, like, hey, your gout is because of all that darn red beef you eating. Every time you eat a piece of steak, you have a flare-up, right? You have this flare-up going on. And so you showed them that there was a new study saying that, red beef leave uric crystals in the joint area and cause you to have this gout. Eventually, you have to have your toe cut off. I don't want to hear that, especially while they sitting there cooking a T-bone or a ribeye or something like that. If that's their favorite food and they love eating that food, you're about to take them out of their comfort, out of their addiction, and they don't want that. They don't want to read no information like that. Like I was telling a friend of mine a couple of nights ago, I was sitting over and he was telling me about he wanted to, get off of alcohol. And I told him about a study by Dr. Amen over in California where he shows brain scans of people's brains when they're using alcohol, using meth, when they're using cocaine, marijuana, a whole bunch of other so-called stimulants, irritants, and drugs and stuff like that. And he showed a perfect brain, a person who didn't use no type of drugs. And he showed many scans. They done been doing it so long that they got buku of scans, and they show the scans of people who didn't indulge in toxins and stuff like that. And they brain blood flows in their brain beautifully. It lights up like beautifully when their brain is being scanned. Blood is flowing everywhere. It's like the whole brain is just filled with blood. When a person who were like stimulant, special alcohol, our alcoholic brain looked at like Swiss cheese. They had so many holes and craters in it where blood cannot flow because, the scan will show up where blood is at. So that means majority of the brain wasn't getting blood. And why you see a lot of people, alcoholics, do suffer strokes and stuff like that, because that alcohol crosses the blood-brain barrier. Just like a bunch of other poisons, aspartame. Marijuana stimulate the brain, right? Stimulate is irritate. That's another word for irritate. So all these so-called stuff shows you that these brains are affected. All right. So I was telling him about this information. I don't know if I want to hear that, because it's information that's going to scare you out of your addiction. It shouldn't be scary, but it's good if it's scary, if it catapult you into a higher level of being. Right now, you're in a lowered level of being because you're being an alcoholic that's causing you suffering. But your higher being is free from addiction, free emotionally, You're doing worthy goals and things in your life. Now that's your higher self. You know, denial of all information. It's all a pack of lies. All that what you talking about now, man. There's another study that said, smoking marijuana cure cancer and it put me to sleep, get rid of my pain and all this type of stuff. Well, you got to see who's doing these studies now. They're allowing these same people to do the study who growing the marijuana, who's distributing the marijuana, who's, what all these, the alcohol people, the tobacco people used to do all these studies. They were saying, no, tobacco don't cause cancer, don't cause lung cancer. We know that to be a lie. But according to their science, it did. Now, whose science is it? Who's doing the science? You got to think now, the scientist who's doing the science is the very person who's getting paid by the person who they got to be in favor for. So if I'm working for Lil Debbie and I have to, I got to make a report saying Lil Debbie's are wholesome and got a bunch of vitamins and minerals in there. Well, if I write and get a report and say, man, this stuff toxic, got a bunch of dyes and chemicals and it's going to kill little kids as they eat it. Well, Lil Debbie going to be hot with that if I give a report like that. Matter of fact, I'm no longer going to have a job because they're going to fire me. They're going to get somebody who's going to publish what they won't publish. All right? So if I want to keep a job, I'm going to report, well, there's indication, it appears. I say words like that, it appears. From more study must be done, but it appears that there could be vitamins and minerals that can possibly nourish little children's body if they was to take one with them to lunch and have one in the evening time just before their dinner. Man, a lot of parents would be out there like, whoa, I'm going out there and getting them Lil Debbie. I got to nourish my child. All it did was, help Lil Debbie, But that's how all studies are going. Unless you have some, it's really kind of hard to have a third unbiased scientific study because everybody's getting paid to do this. And if you don't put out the right product and results, you're not going to be called upon anymore. Your science lab is going under. You get funded by the people who are getting you to do their work. Harvard and Yale and all these different scientific labs and universities. If you're not putting out the information they want you to put out, you no longer have a job. If you go up against their science, then you're out of the door. So you're going to keep up with their foolishness. That's just the way it is. All right, let's go on because we're almost out the door here. Perils of procrastination. You wish to change, even though what you have to do to change is most disagreeable to your comfortable lifestyle. Let me tell you, time's up. Stop it today. You make a definite decision to follow the health-seeking program, self-introspection, diet, exercise, fresh air, sun bath, emotional balance, and so on. I'm telling you, time's up. You needlessly delay following the step-by-step approach provided. You put off making the little changes necessary to redo eating, living, thinking pattern. Time's up. You realize at a certain point that you are delaying the doing and making no real progress on the program at all. I have clients do this all the time. They want to make the change. They come to me, sit down with me. I go through the spill, teach them about holistic health and healing, show them where they're causing their own symptom. And the only way to get rid of that is to remove cause and start practicing the conditions for health. Get fresh air, rest, and relaxation, eat the right foods, and get regular exercise. Stay away from toxic people. Keep the will to live. Keep emotional poise in your life. Go out into the sun, ground yourself on the ground. Keep a cheerful outlook. Be happy, smile, laugh often. I tell them these things. They're not ready to give up their weekends. They're not ready to give up their meats and their seafood smothered in garlic butter. You know, they're not willing to give up their alcohol and their association with their friends and their drink outs. Not ready to get away from their eating binges, their buffets, their favorite food. They're not willing to give up that stuff. Not yet. They'll give it up for a day or two here, but they're not willing to give it all up. Well, I want to be healthy, but I'm just not ready to give up all that. I know what I heard he say, but I ain't ready to give that up just yet. He'll never know. Then they get to a point where they notice that they're delaying it. They're not getting anything by not following what I say totally. Those, I know when my clients come and they start feeling better, I know they're doing what I tell them to do. I've been doing this for a long time. And the clients that I know listen to me, they health turn around 2 to 3 months, 5 to 6 months. They new people when they follow it to the T. And I mean, I can tell because they asking me what to do. They calling me on the phone. Hey, what should I be doing in this? Hey, what should I be doing there? Those are the ones that be with me. Those who run from me, or I don't hear from them until they sick again or hurting or whatever, or something ain't right. They're not following it. I know. And they're wondering why they're not healed yet. I have people I know, you know, they'll be in distress. I mean, can't eat, can't do nothing, throwing up. I tell them, hey, you know, fast for a day or two, and then come off of the fast eating a juicy fruit. You know, maybe some grapes to soothe the stomach, maybe a banana or something like that. And they'll do it for a day or two and feel better. And then in 7 days, they call me back, man, I just don't know what's wrong with my stomach. What do you mean? It's hurting again. I thought you told me it stopped. Yeah, I did. What are you doing? I call myself eating such and such and such. Don't do that yet. You know. Stop procrastinating on going and healing yourself. It's not going to heal in over a week. It's not going to heal, in less than a week. You know, you got to put some time in. Like I said, at least 3 to 6 months of really following this thing wholeheartedly and let your body repair. That 6 months can carry you. I had a guy who came to me at 70-some years old. I think he was around about 70 years old. And he was suffering real bad. Couldn't barely even walk in my office when he came. And after the 5th month, I released him. He didn't have to come to me no more. And I met him in Forsyth Park. He called me and brought me a whole bunch of watermelons from Augusta. He lived in Augusta. And he would travel every week to see me for 5 months straight. Every week he traveled. And in there, I was teaching him health. I was telling him what to eat. He would be out there in the sun with me, fresh air. He was just doing what I do, following what I was doing. 5th day, he came out there, showed me his muscles. He was walking, running around, because he could barely even stand still. He had a problem where he was falling to the side and all type of stuff. 5 months. Released him. I haven't heard from him since. But he was a military man, so he took discipline well, you know. Some of us need discipline. That's what's going to help us. All right, so you begin a process of demoralization, self-punishment, and self-deprecation for having procrastinated. Don't worry about that. Time's up. When the self-abuse becomes unbearable, you muster up new energy to try again. We're not going to get to that. Time's up. The procrastination have to stop. Today, you're going to start doing the right thing. Let's start today. Today, we're going to do good. I'm going to see you next week with a whole nother lesson on holistic health and healing. Make sure you contact us at 912-227-9335 or go to heal.me/FF. It's been a great pleasure having you here. Hopefully, we'll have Michaela here a little longer next week where she can help us teach you the ways of health. Best of health and happiness. We'll see you next week.
this. I like this. I like this. I like this. I like this.